So patch 11.1 of World of Warcraft has released this week, but it hasn't released with Season 2. That will release next week, and that means we're in this weird area where we're technically in Season 2, but we can't go earn a majority of the gear of Season 2. So we can't do Mythic Plus, raids, we can't get any new or higher item level gear from even delves. But with all of that being said, there are actually a few ways to go and earn Season 2 gear, even having the potential to earn gear that could be upgraded to 645, which is a higher item level than even fully upgraded myth gear from Season 1. And I will also be doing another video this week going over everything you can be doing if you're going to be focused a bit more on progression going into Season 2. But in this video, I'm specifically going to be going over how you can go about getting some gear upgrades or some Season 2 gear right now. Now, with all of the content we currently have access to, you're able to get 3 different upgrade tracks of gear. You're able to get Explorer gear, which will just be the random greens you get at level 80 pretty much anywhere in this expansion. And Explorer gear starts at 597 and goes up to 619 if you fully upgrade it. That only takes Valor Stones, and Valor Stones are also incredibly plentiful in 11.1, specifically in the Undermine. So if you're on a newer character that doesn't have gear up to 619, you could actually just go buy some greens or just go farm mobs to get some greens and fully upgrade those pretty easily. Then you can also get your hands on Adventurer gear, which is rare gear. This starts at 610 item level and is upgradable to 632. And then in some more rare situations, you can also get Veteran gear, which starts at epic and starts at 623 item level and is upgradable to 645. Now, Veteran gear is pretty important because none of the gear in Season 1 was upgradable past 639. A 6 out of 6 myth track piece of gear was only at 639. So Veteran gear can be upgraded past the item level of all Season 1 gear, and you're able to get veteran items right now, which is pretty important because if it's worthwhile to use your upgrading resources into that veteran gear, this will actually give you a pretty big jump when Season 2 actually starts next week. And there's a few different things you could do to farm all of these different tracks of gear. First off, the Explorer gear are just BOE greens and questing greens. So if you're just running around killing things, you'll randomly be getting these. These probably aren't going to be super important to most people. What's going to start to get more important are the Adventurer pieces of gear, which can be upgraded to 632. And that only takes Valor Stones and the most base level of Season 2 upgrade crest, which you can get right now as well, and they're very easy to max out. And 632 is only slightly under the item level fully upgraded Season 1 mythic gear. So if you're somebody that wasn't a mythic raider in Season 1, this gear can give you a really big jump going into Season 2 to allow you to jump into Mythic Zeros or Mythic Plus much more easily. And it seems you can get Adventurer gear in a handful of ways, but the best way to get Adventurer gear is actually to go farm rares anywhere in the War Within. Now, what's happened is that the Warbound gear you could normally get from killing any rares in the War Within in Season 1 has been upgraded to Season 2 Adventurer gear. So anytime you go kill any rare anywhere in the War Within on any level character that can be in the War Within, so you can do this on like level 70s, that rare has a chance to just drop you a max level piece of Adventurer gear, and the upgrade on this Warbound gear can be kind of random. So you could get a Adventurer piece that's 1 out of 8 at 610, or you could get an Adventurer piece that's like 3 out of 8. So you can get pieces that are already partially upgraded as well. And this also means that if you play a lot of ults and you really want to farm this, you can go farm every single rare once a day on every character in every War Within zone, not just the Undermined, and every single one of those has a chance to drop this new Season 2 Adventurer gear that again could be upgraded to 632. So this is going to be really good if you were in a Mythic Raider on your mains, or just really good for all of your alts because you can also trade it freely because it's all Warbound gear. And the most important and highest item level gear you can obtain right now is Veteran gear, again upgradable to 645, so it's better than any of the raid gear you could possibly get from Season 1. And this gear will be obtainable from any of the weekly objectives in the War Within, or at least the majority of them. This includes pretty much all of the weekly objectives that will give you a cache in the Undermine as well, and that means there is a ton of these. There are all of the weekly objectives we got on the launch of the War Within, season. So you have things like the theater trope, the awakening machine, and all of the other weekly objectives you can go do once on a weekly basis and get an epic cache. This includes all of the weekly quests you can pick up in Dornegal that have you do a bunch of various different activities. And then on top of all of that, your weekly special operations can also give you veteran gear. So you have the two in the original War Within zones where you have to go complete the reward quests. It'll unlock the special operation objective. You go complete that, you'll get another weekly cache that can give you a piece of veteran gear. There is also one of these in the Undermine as well. And then there's also a handful of additional weekly objectives in the Undermine that again give you one of these caches that can have a piece of veteran gear in them. And like season 1, on those caches, it says it'll give you a piece of veteran gear for the first 2 you open a week. And with season 1, that was shared between all of the weekly objectives, whether it be the weeklies from Dornegal, something like Awakening Machine, or the special operation. So doing your first 2 a week would give you those pieces of gear. But it does seem like this may be slightly broken with this patch, because on one of my characters, I didn't get 2 pieces of veteran gear for the first 2 I opened, but I did end up getting another piece of veteran gear on a later one I opened. And if I'm not mistaken, I've had a character that has gotten 3 pieces of veteran gear so far. So I'm not sure if that's just a bug. There could be the possibility that having some of these weekly objectives before this patch came out would allow you to get extra veteran gear from some of these caches, or maybe depending on which patch that weekly objective comes from, maybe there's some bug or some weird issue with them being kind of separated and allowing you to get more gear than you should be getting. But generally you should be getting 2 pieces of veteran gear total for this first week. And they're all pretty easy in general, just open world content, and it's going to give you a really big boost to just allow you to be geared going into season 2. And these seem like the main ways you can currently go about gearing up and getting season 2 gear. It doesn't seem like there's really anything else to do. There's no season 2 heroic or mythic 0 or mythic plus dungeons. You can't do the new raid, and all of the delves are still on their season 1 rewards, so you can't go and get season 2 gear from doing delves either. So if you're looking to gear up in this week before season 2, these are pretty much the only things you're going to be able to be doing. But again, some of this gear is going to be very good no matter what you were doing in season 1. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.